Hello, Warmasters. In today's video, we're going to explore an amazing new tool brought to us by Murky from the Talat's Changers called Tacticus Tracker. This is a great resource for guilds to use for both war and raid. I've already used the data within it for the past couple videos. I mean, the insights that we got when it came out with that Battlefield 5 data dump video, that was game-changing, mind-blowing, whatever cool compound adjective you want to use to describe it, Tacticus Tracker is that. Shit fucking. Okay, maybe not shit fucking, but it's really cool. If you enjoy spending your time productively, visit the website. I have it linked below in the doodad. It really shows you what's viable and what's not in this game that we all enjoy playing together. I guess being efficient isn't always fun for everyone, but to me, winning is fun. And Tacticus Tracker is a tool to help us achieve both. For the rest of the video, I'll be playing clips of my interview with Murky while I navigate through Tacticus Tracker. For the interview, it was text only, so I'll be using an AI to fill in for Murky's voice. Enjoy! What does Tacticus Tracker do?
Tacticus Tracker was intended to be like those old GG sites back in the day for StarCraft or WoW that showed all your player stats in one place. The idea is to surface meaningful data about how you are actually performing, what teams are strong, and how things trend over time. Right now, Tacticus Tracker is focused on tracking guild raid and guild war data. It pulls in your guild's logs and shows useful breakdowns, like which teams consistently perform better, which units are punching above their weight, how players are contributing, and how different lineups compare against each other. It basically turns all the raw raid and war data into something you can actually understand and act on.
What was the main inspiration for creating Tacticus Tracker?
It started as a mix of the old tracker sites I used to love and the fact that Tlath's Changers was moving through guild bosses much faster than my last guild. I wanted a simple way to figure out which team was best to bring to a boss or side boss fight. The tracker made it easy to see which replay I should study, what lineup performed well, and how it compared to the power level of my own units. I still remember the first version being very basic, but the moment it worked, even in its rough state, I knew it was something I wanted to keep building on. Over time, it naturally expanded into guild war support because a lot of the work the guild was doing was manual. The tracker helped automate that and made it easier to understand what was actually happening in each war.
How do you see Tacticus Tracker changing or enhancing guild strategy and coordination?
Tacticus Analytics already does a really good job with managing guild raids and coordination. Our guild operates on trust. We do not tell anyone what to do. We trust people to use their tokens, whether for guild raid or guild war, in the most optimal way. Tacticus Tracker is meant to support that approach. The tools we are building help players find their answers faster. For example, what team should they bring to the guild raid? What is the optimal defensive line? Or what offensive team makes the most sense for a specific matchup? Instead of guessing or digging through old chats, the tracker gives them the information they need right away.
What role does user feedback play in your development process? And where do you prefer the community to reach out to you?
Features are built through a mix of need and request. Sometimes I hear people talking about a problem they're running into, and I try to come up with a solution for it. A lot of ideas also come directly from guildmates who request specific features or improvements. User feedback shapes most of what gets built. Right now, the best way to reach me is through our Discord. That is where I am most active and where the community can share ideas, report issues, and talk through what would help them the most.
What features are you most proud of?
I really love the Guild War Team Analyzer. It is probably the feature I use the most. It lets you plug in a Guild War offensive or defensive lineup and immediately see what counters it. I have used it many times when I was too tired to think, and instead of bringing a bad lineup, I could check real matchup data and see what actually defeated that team. There were nights when I stared at a defense with no idea what to bring, so the analyzer honestly saved me from making some terrible decisions. It is also helpful when we are down to the last lineup and need to clear a building. I can quickly scan the results and make an announcement that a certain team performs best against it, which lets anyone who has that lineup step in and finish the job.
What motivates you as a developer working on a community driven tool like this?
I have always enjoyed coding, and I do not get to do as much of it in my day job anymore, so it has been fun to hack on something in my free time. It is a lot more enjoyable when there are no timelines or pressure. You can experiment, try things out, and build at your own pace. It reminds me of when I first started coding, staying up late and tinkering just because it was fun. You are in complete control of the product and the design, and that freedom makes the whole process a lot more motivating. Knowing that the community actually uses the tool and finds it helpful only adds to that motivation. There are even times when I get so pulled into coding that my tokens and energy are just sitting there at max.
What's next for your roadmap for 2026?
I am working on several Guild War editions. One is automatic recommendations for offensive and defensive units based on your own roster. Another is automatically determining the opponent's Guild War layout, so players can plan faster without having to map everything manually. Over time, the players will be able to sign up on the platform and manage their Guild War rosters in a way that feels similar to Tacticus Planner. The difference is that the system will layer insights on top of that. It will recommend teams based on what you have available and how you are actually using your units. For example, if you use a few key units early, it will recommend teams that work with the ones you have left. All of this ties back into the team analysis feature, which will continue to grow as the system learns more about your usage and the matchups you face. I am excited to see how the system grows as more data sources become available and how much more we can automate for players over time.
What advice would you give to other players looking to get involved in creating community resources?
I have noticed two big gaps. In Guild Raid, no one has really stepped in to cover boss mechanics in depth since Drop Near. His videos were incredibly helpful for understanding the so-called randomness of the bosses, and that kind of insight is still missing today. In Guild War, there also are not many videos that walk through how to use specific teams or how to approach different matchups. That is why I really enjoy your channel, since it focuses more on Guild Wars and helps fill that gap. So, my advice is to look for the areas where the community feels stuck, or where information is hard to find. If you can fill one of those gaps in a consistent and helpful way, people will appreciate it, and the community will get stronger because of it.
Is there anything else about the development of Tacticus Tracker that you'd like the community to know?
Right now, we are all waiting for Snowprint to officially open access to Guild War data. When that finally happens, we will be able to open the tracker to everyone and automate the entire process in a clean and reliable way. That is the future we are aiming for. In the meantime, we can only pull from our own Guild War logs. But if you are technical and want your guild's data included, just message us through our Discord. We can give you the tools to collect it and help you import it into the tracker. It is very straightforward, and the extra data goes a long way toward improving the insights the tracker can provide.